Welcome to Take Two Movie Reviews. I'm Connor.
I'm Sean.
I'm Tyler. TJ, whatever you want to call me.
And that's Mysterious Sam.
Also known as Christian.
The movie today is Batman vs. Superman. It was a hot pile of garbage.
Indeed.
Like a rolling dumpster fire.
A rolling dumpster fire.
Also indeed.
Honestly, it is the biggest disappointment in cinematic history. Low budget, obviously, for the CGI.
Comic book fans.
No low
Biggest,
budget.
I wouldn't say the biggest disappointment.
Not the biggest, but it's very close
near
to
close.
it. It was almost as disappointing as the 2005 Willy Wonka remake.
What's
But
a 2005 Willy
That's a
Wonka
video
remake?
for a different day.
I
yeah,
actually
that's
like
a
that
video.
movie.
That's
And
another
everybody's
one.
gonna hate me
But
because
this honestly
It's okay.
was. It looked like Doomsday and was Doomsday, a walking duck turd with arms and legs.
Yep.
Yes.
And honestly, that's what he looked like. But to get to the main point of the story, it's Superman versus Batman.
Spoilers.
It should have just been Batman versus Superman punching in the face and he flies through glass. That's pretty much what the whole movie was about. And you
So
have
the
two
Zod fight from the first one, just with a bat mask on.
Yes,
Pretty much.
exactly.
Great.
Killing thousands of innocent people.
A second time.
Yes.
particularly
A
with
second-
Batman
a
with
second.
the gun.
Yeah, okay,
Batman with the
let's
gun.
talk about how many... Sorry, let's talk about how many people Batman straight up shot.
Yeah.
At
With
least
Can we
guns.
talk about the scene where he's driving in the Batmobile and a Gatling gun comes out of the hood and straight up mows down that pickup truck?
Yeah. Can we talk about the fact that all of us looked at each other in Godsmacked?
All
about
four of us,
how
we looked
We
at each
literally
other.
looked at each other in unison,
In unison.
about how disappointed we were with this. Like
Oh,
I was
actually,
like,
it's four of them.
and it was
Pretty
so
much.
disappointing.
Yeah, like, what?
Like arm flailing inflatable tube man, that was how bad it was.
Jesse Eisenberg was...
Like Jesse Eisenberg, at the end of the movie, he looked like Mr. Clean's retarded stepson.
Ding, ding, ding.
Honestly, ding ding
Ding,
ding.
ding, ding.
But we already rang that
Ding,
bell.
ding, ding.
But seriously, the amount of effort that Jesse Eisenberg had to even look crazy. I mean, the dude's awkward to begin with.
But that's
I
what
saw
makes
a
him
review
a good actor in general.
online that
He
said
does have some good
it's
movies.
Jesse Eisenberg playing the Joker and no one told him he was supposed to be playing Lex Luthor. And that's basically what it is.
That's the truth. My other point being the fact that he literally... I don't understand why they didn't just make him Lex Luthor. He's Lex Luthor's son.
Son.
Huge air quotes.
Yeah.
But, like, they call him Lex Luthor.
And he's angry at Superman because he hates God, and Superman is the closest equivalent to a god. And that's horse shit, because in the comic books, Lex Luthor is just evil. So,
Lex Luthor he genuinely wants to kill people. His main focus it is taking down Superman, but it's not like just his primary focus. Like, I'm gonna get you, boy.
Lex
Like,
Luthor's
no.
just a psychopath. You don't need to give a reason for it. There are psychopaths. Joker's a psychopath. You don't need to give Lex Luthor a reason for hating Superman.
And how about that reference? Like, oh, this is the joke. Remember on the suit in the one scene when they're walking inside his bat cave, it showed Nightwing's
Robin's suit.
Robin's
Yeah.
suit.
Yes.
Like, no, they need to explain the story behind that too. There's people who watch this movie, they have no idea what that was.
Like-
you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, well,
I-
for comic book fans like me and him, we understood most of the references. But for people that just went in thinking it was going to be a Batman vs Superman
Like-
fight,
like
they
I
had
did.
to deal
Like him.
with boom
Like our-
tubes,
like TJ
and
here.
Doomsday, and all that shit. You know, it's going to be confusing.
Like TJ here, he didn't have a perspective on it.
Don't read many comic books, if any. And I knew that was Robin, but instead of them doing the entire Batman storyline, like a backstory, that practically everyone knows already, why didn't they do backstory for that?
Exactly. They needed to introduce Robin, but why that happened to him. And also the fact that they talked about what happened in the previous movies.
Can we, just for a quick cut, can we talk about how many times that there were dream or acid trip sequences?
Yeah, there was a dream
God.
within a dream, and there was
I thought I
Man-Bat
was
in one of
watching
them.
Inception.
There was the
Infinite
Flash in a
universes
boom
of-
tube.
I did not
Remake.
come to see Inception. That is true. I did not come to see this movie for
Can we
Inception.
talk about
That's
how...
another day review, by the way. Inception's going to be our
Can
next
we
video.
talk about how the best parts of the movies were just set up for the other DC movies?
Yes, and
The Flash, Cyborg,
Cyborg looks
Aquaman
amazing.
especially. Their setups were like 10-second videos on
That were so way cooler.
in an email. They were JPEGs
Dude, when
in an email,
Jason-
and they were amazing.
When Jason Bowman shoots out of the frickin' thing,
Jason Momoa.
Jason
Go on.
Momoa, whatever his name is, from Game of Thrones.
Khal Drogo, go on.
when he shoots out of the ship, that is like the coolest part of the movie. And then when Flash goes through the little convenience store, and then when Cyborg is getting built.
Cyborg's getting built by his dad, and it's awesome. And then the Flash shows up in a boom tube, and it's like, oh, cryptic shit you're not going to need to know for 3 more movies. Oh, don't trust
I
him.
also want to talk about that my personal favorite character was the main reporter.
Yes, Perry White was amazing.
Water.
Crime in
Beautiful.
Gotham. In other news, water. Wet.
So, on another note, let's go with the fact that Wonder Woman was set up to be Catwoman for the first half of the movie.
Yeah, for the first third of the movie, we all legitimately thought that Gal Gadot, that was playing Wonder Woman, was playing Catwoman. Because we
I
first
knew-
meet her at a high
I want to say
society
that
party.
I know that she was supposed to be Wonder Woman, but I was like,
Well, yeah,
did they
we
flip
knew
it?
she was Wonder Woman,
But
but
like, I couldn't
make it
understand why
seem
she.
like she's Catwoman.
I was like, I didn't realize it was her because I wasn't thinking about it, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait, that's Wonder Woman. Oh, why the fuck is she acting like Catwoman?
yes, we first meet her at a high society party, and she's
High
sneaking,
society.
yeah,
Sneaking
And she's out.
she's
thieving
sneaking
Batman.
around. She's out thieving Batman. She's out sneaking the Dark Knight, which is bananas. And then they have this.
Literally, I thought that cat was on Nip like half of that goddamn
Yeah.
movie. Like, that was just...
Never give a
And then they
cat
have
girl
that
catnip.
scene-
It's just a recommendation from me, from experience.
And
It's
then they
like
have
death.
That scene that kind of mirrors the scene that Selena Kyle and Batman had in The Dark Knight Rises, where they're dancing
Oh, for the love
and
of
they're
God.
talking,
That was...
and it's like, oh,
And it's so
Hey,
James
listen,
Serious
listen, I
shit.
feel like they were trying to rip off the dream sequences from Age of Ultron. You know, you do that one part in that movie, too.
No. What it boils down to
particularly
is
the Flash and the Boom Tube.
No.
Yes.
What it boils down to is because if anybody had seen, which you should have, the previous movie, which was Superman, they were trying to go for this really like meta shit where it's constantly changing the scenery, but it wasn't telling a cohesive story because of it. It wasn't interesting. It was just fucking annoying. Where we would just jump from area to area or time points in his life backwards and forwards, and then we were like, okay, so now we know enough about him, and it was like, we don't know anything about Superman.
We know
Alex.
nothing about Superman. No new information is given about Superman
At all.
either. He only speaks
And he's being an
42
emo
lines
bitch
in the
in the
entire
whole
movie.
movie.
He's barely in it.
Oh, God,
It's
he's such
all
a bitch in
setting
that
up
movie.
Batman and Wonder Woman and the rest of the DC movies.
Which I don't understand why they didn't just do those things instead of having Batman versus Superman.
Okay, guys. Now we're just going to go in order and list the things that we disliked most about the film, and then we'll give one thing that we liked about it. I'll go first. Honestly, I felt like the movie had one good characteristic, and that was Wonder Woman. She really did steal the show. The actress was absolutely incredible. And overall, she just did a really fantastic job with the film. And even outside of the film, she felt, there was an interview with Jimmy Kimmel where she's like, oh, you're just staring at my boobs the entire film. It's like, to have that kind of self-humility. But overall, the thing I liked least about the entire film was Doomsday. As I said before, a walking duck turd
shit.
with arms and legs. That's all I've got to say.
I do want to reference that I like her as Wonder Woman, though I wish she was a little more stacked for the role, because she kind of seems a little thin, just for the role.
Yeah, just for the role, but, I think that was also, like, the point of not making her like that.
Yeah, because Superman and him are, like, really, really jacked in that movie for no reason.
Yeah.
And
Alright,
she's
so-
got to be...
So what did you think, Tyler?
So, I'm pretty much going with the same boat as you, where I think Wonder Woman was pretty much the best point of the movie. Or the fact that they were... Just the clips from the emails setting up the other movies got me so hyped.
Hang on,
For
I'm
just
sorry to
those
interrupt
movies.
you, but I have to say this. Do you guys remember the scene where she first shows up to the Doomsday battle, and they're like, is she with you? I thought she was with you. It's
Obviously,
like,
she's with Batman.
Batman, you emailed her. She
Yeah,
came
right?
because of you.
Yeah, right?
Yes, that.
It's clear, that is a clear moment entirely, that the entire movie had too many re-edits.
Yes.
Because there was so many plot holes of that nature, little things.
It's very clear that they weren't intended to be that.
We all know that this film was overall a pretty big disappointment.
My biggest, the thing that I hated the most, and it's a small
You didn't let him
thing.
finish, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Continue.
I forgot where I was,
Shit.
but I think I know. With the emails, that they hyped me up so much for the other movies that they actually might have encouraged me to actually pick up a comic book, which would be something huge.
Yeah.
For
So-
you.
Yeah.
Your turn. Why are you looking at your phone? We're doing a review.
shut up.
Don't be a bitch.
All right, the thing that I didn't like the most, and it's a small thing, it's when Luthor is in the Kryptonian ship putting Zod's body in the water, and the computer is like, this type of genetic modification has been outlawed by Kryptonian councils. And he's like, and where are the Kryptonian councils now? Dead. Then it doesn't matter. It's Luthor, how the fuck do you know what happened to the Kryptonians? Why does it matter if they're dead? Their laws can still apply to the ship that doesn't know they're dead.
I do want to reference that he did go through the fucking archives, and that was the fucking bullshit of why he knows they're dead.
Granted, but the ship shouldn't care. Like, it's programmed to do whatever the Kryptonians said. If the Kryptonians said, this is outlawed, don't let this happen, even if they're dead, the ship wouldn't let it happen, but it does because
Right.
Lex Luthor
So
outsmarted the ship.
let's cut to Christian. We're just gonna say
Secret Sam.
Secret Sam. He's
We're
not
gonna
gonna
put
be.
it.
Mysterious
We're gonna
Sam.
put an image of me
Or
of your
Salty
choice, as
I'm
long
gonna
as it's
put
not
I'm
profane.
gonna put
We'll
a
put a picture of
picture.
a graboid right here.
Yeah, I'll put a picture of just a grab boy with a little smiley face on it. How's that guy? So
Yeah.
One last thing I do gotta say before I get to Christian is this video is not professional, and we realize that, but the amount of shits we give is not very high for our
One,
first video.
2. Oh shit, they flew away.
Thank you for
Yeah,
saying that. But that's
exactly.
honestly what we're gonna say to you guys. Being our first video,
We just wanted to get all this out
we
there.
just want to get all this out there. And I'm going to upload it as is for certain parts. Of course, going to edit out little quirks like this. But overall, for our first review, this is what you're going to get.
Hello.
But here's Christian,
Christian.
and he's going to tell you what he liked, and they're going to
Yes.
cut after that.
I also have to say,
Personally,
he looks like a glowing god on the screen. He's like, he's so luminescent on the screen. It's amazing.
And that's our cameraman, Alex, by the way.
show yourself, Alex, real quick.
Just show yourself. Go ahead.
I'm good for now.
Okay.
Here's my hand.
Personally,
There's my knee.
He is
Thank you.
he is Senpai,
Keep your
by
knee
the
out
way.
of the frame.
I just noticed it was there.
Great. Was it there the entire time?
Well, I didn't even notice.
Fantastic.
Honestly, guys, it
Great
doesn't
film.
matter.
All right, continue.
personally, my favorite scene was water. Wet. That whole
Perry White was
anytime
just
that
one of
Perry
the
White
best
is
characters.
on screen
Yeah.
is my favorite part of the movie. There are little things that I did enjoy that were, small giddiness to me. But my least favorite part is actually two things.
Mm-hmm.
One, the acting of pretty much everybody. Wonder Woman being an exception because she didn't really do very much, and so she didn't have time to fuck up.
Everyone
because of the script.
praises Batfleck, and it's like,
Batman didn't do
No.
anything.
I
I
didn't
want
think
to
he was
preface that I
terrible.
don't think that Batfleck was bad. I just think the script was bad for him.
no,
Yes.
he was okay, but he was not as good as people are making him
No,
out
no,
to
no.
say.
I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying he wasn't terrible. Even with the horrible
I'm
script.
willing to admit he wasn't terrible. I'm not willing to give him that he was great.
But I have to say that the thing that made me the most utterly angry is Doomsday. Preferably because I don't like a lot of supervillains or a lot of characters, but Doomsday is just one of my... He's so cool to me. And I love him. And they fucking ruined it. Like, they couldn't have fucked it up any harder. One
We
last
still don't
scene-
fully believe that that's the real
I don't,
Doomsday.
because there's a whole bunch of information that makes me think otherwise.
We
but-
think that is just a
Oh,
really
rip-off.
weird coincidence on
That-
Lex's part.
Yeah. That he made a very similar thing. But my other thing that also made me super fucking annoyed is that, like, they didn't even give it, like, an after credit scene for them to be like, well, Superman's dead. Oh, he's alive. Oh, that's the clue. Oh, it's gonna
You
continue.
fit in like 4 different arcs into one movie to try and speed towards your universe that you're trying to build. And instead of leaving him dead while Batman and Wonder Woman assemble the Justice League,
Yeah.
like, let him be dead until the Justice League movie, but instead we get that little bit of dirt moving off his...
Yeah,
He-
floating.
He's not
Floating
even
off of
freshly...
his-
He's not even done being buried.
Yeah, like,
and he's already
like
not dead.
alive. It's, yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
But I would like to point out that Ben Affleck will be directing the next Batman movie, so it shouldn't be terrible.
I would agree.
Yeah,
Any other director should be
he's
better.
starring in it.
And he's also starring in it, so yeah.
But-
Nobody should star and direct in their own movie.
I don't
That's
care.
Ben
It's going to
Affleck.
be better. I bet you it's going to be better than this.
All right, well, that's what we had to do for our first video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining Take Two.
See you
review,
next
guys.
time.
See you next time.